This is Ben Rogers, this is the Property Diary, this is Tuesday 15th of January. I'm actually in Ashford at the moment. I've just been down to Rick Walters' Penn Kent networking event. Had Rob Moore here. In fact, I think I've still got my name badge on my chest here. So it's a little bit dark, it's about 11:30 at night. Just in the reception area here. Just a couple of things I want to sort of tell you about. The ceiling's actually been quite interesting from my point of view, because Rob Moore has been going over kind of 6 strategies for sort of success in your business and your property, and it's been quite interesting. I'll share some of my sort of feedback on that. But today's been a fairly busy day of my own properties. I had a couple of properties that are empty that need refurbing, and I decided these are keeper properties, so I've been around there just doing a bit of specking on the refurb work so that we can get some quotes in from our builders on that. And also just want to sort of share with you, had a call through today, actually get a kind of a tenant buyer type call that turns into maybe a kind of a mentoring call as well, bizarrely. This guy had called yesterday, missed me, called back today, and funnily enough, Daniil was out of the office. He normally takes our tenant buyer call, so I took the call, and he'd come across me because he'd been looking into Rick Austin online. He wants to buy a property on a rent-to-buy basis himself with his wife. They're fairly open as to where they live. They live up in, I think, in Lincolnshire at the moment, but they're fairly open. Might even go up to Manchester where the daughter lives. But it was quite interesting how he was telling me all about why rent-to-buy is great for him. And he was kind of selling me on the idea that rent-to-buy is a good idea. It's quite interesting how you'll get that. And quite often people will say to me, well, how do you find tenant buyers? Why do they want to be a tenant buyer? Well, look, you'll get people that will just tell you all the time throughout the telephone conversation why it works for them. And it works for him because he had a few business challenges a couple of years back, hasn't got the best credit rating, but wants to move on. They just need a bit more space. His wife teaches piano. They're in a terrace property at the moment, so piano's a bit of an issue when she's teaching it and the neighbours. So they want somewhere that's sort of detached. They're even considering his daughter going in with them as well. So lots of opportunities, and they like the idea. I think he's as he said, of more mature years, and he's looking at ways he can make money as well. So he's thinking about coming on a Rick Austin course, maybe one of my own courses, and just learning more about this himself. But wants to really start it off by getting a rent-to-buy property themselves. Then he'll feel like he understands it and knows it because he's done it and moved into a place, and then he might want to do more of it himself. So that was quite interesting. The other thing I want to share with you, of course, is I've been at the Penn Kent this evening. There's a couple of things I kind of picked up on. Rob goes, I think it's one of these Rob Moore's last talks, and I thought I'd just pop down, so I've never really sort of seen him talk, and it was right on my doorstep, so it made sense. But Rob went through, what does he call it, kind of his 6 stages of kind of property, and it was quite interesting. It really kind of fed back to me that what I'm doing personally works quite nicely, because there are certain things that I do, certain structures that I have in my business. You know that I spend the majority of my time doing deals. I would say probably about 60% of my time. Then probably 30% of my time is training people and teaching people how to do stuff. And of course, the stuff I'm doing here now, I just incorporate it in my normal day-to-day environment, my day-to-day stuff. That's part of my kind of doing deals, as I class it, because I'm just sharing stuff I do with you. But 20-30% of my time, I'm actually teaching people in a more formal basis about options, classroom stuff, online webinars, my house training, stuff like that. And then probably another sort of 10%, if I've done my maths right, 60, 30, 10, yeah, that's about right, is probably other businesses. And I've got other bits and pieces that I do, and I'm thinking about other stuff that I'm doing. And it's quite interesting how Rob was talking about that and the exit strategy, and start off in your business and your property with your exit strategy. Know where you're going, know how you're going to get out of it. So it's just quite interesting sort of feeding back that. And so I just thought I'd kind of share that with you. He's teaching it. I think I'm doing it anyway, but it's quite nice to get that feedback. And you'll probably find that a lot of stuff I share with you, you'll sit and think, yeah, Ben, I do that already, or I know that, Ben, and hopefully you'll think, well, I know it, but maybe I'm not using it, so maybe because Ben's reminded me, I'll do it. So anyway, that's it. It's getting late. I think I'm going to head on home now. This is a Property Diary. My name's Ben Rogers. This is a slightly gloomy but very nice hotel down in Ashford, and I'm going to head home and see my lovely Linda. So good night from Ben, the Property Diary, and Tuesday the 15th of January. Take care. I'll speak to you tomorrow.